it's never great when the two bottom teams play each other, Jake, and you're just sort of fanging for a good close game, and the team that is just above the team on the bottom of the ladder wins by nearly 50 points, 49 points. So that's what happened on Saturday night. Richmond beat West Coast by 49 points. Eagles now just have one win through their 19 games. That's 18 games, sorry. 3.5 games behind 17th, which is North Melbourne. And the Tigers have sort of gone above that as well. So obviously when that kind of stuff happens and there is such a gap between the bottom teams, discussion about priority picks sort of rears its head again. And I can sort of have seen...
I was wondering when we're going to enter priority pick.
And I've already seen a couple of those around, so thought we'd jump on that. But, you know, this is a team now that, if you go back looking through 2022, have been anchored to the bottom four of the ladder. Is it time to start entertaining those discussions?
Well, what you said then, it's exactly it. 2022, it feels like it's been 10 years that they've been on the bottom of the ladder and awful. So it hasn't even been 4 full seasons yet. Now, 2 years ago, which seems incredibly premature, Rowan Connolly and I had a debate club story that we put up online and just about, do they deserve the priority pick?
Yeah.
Is it time for a priority pick? It was 2023.
Yeah.
2 years into this period.
And what did you say in that?
In that I said, absolutely not then.
Yeah.
Let's revisit it at the end of 2025 if things haven't improved. Well, not only have things not improved, they've probably got will as I'm sure Christian will have some numbers to sort of back that up. And I'm going to speak about it more in 6 points this week and just look at this 4-year block as a whole and sort of say, where does it sort of rank historically? Now, getting back to the priority pick, I've had another think about it since. I can understand why we want to discuss it and why we want to look at whether they should have it or not. I think if you've won a premiership in the last 10 years, you should be ineligible to have a priority pick, period. I don't care if you do not win a game for 10 years. If you have won a premiership, under no circumstance should you be eligible to get additional compensation to what is already fair compensation just because you're not winning when you've just won the whole thing. Is it the rest of the... Why should North Melbourne and Richmond and every other team at the bottom of the ladder, or any team, be penalised and lose out on a pick because West Coast went all in on winning that 2018 premiership,
and they went in
knowing full well that the whole arse was going to fall out of everything, and now they're stuck with what they've got. So it's like it's the fan question, right? Do you take a premiership if it means you're going to have 5, 6, 10 years of being abysmal? A lot of fans say, yeah, you do, because a premiership outweighs that. But I don't think it gives you the ability or the license to say, well, you know what, you've had 4 bad years. Yeah. Here you go. Here's another player to help prop you up again.
So in the wake of that 2018 flag, they went again. They went and got Tim Kelly not long after, and then here are some of the. So when they realised that, use your words, the arse fell out of it, holding on to these champions too long, injury-prone champions, mind you, as well.
Yeah. Here
are some of the names that retired in the wake of that. So 2020, Will Schofield retired. 2022, Brad Shepherd, Josh Kennedy, Jack Redden. 2023, Shannon Hearn, Luke Shuey, Nick Nutnui.
Yeah, all premiership players.
Yeah, 2024, Gaff. So these are guys that, you know, you look at teams like Hawthorn in particular, sort of traded out to get ahead of the curve a bit and avoid that total bottom out when they traded out some premiership stars with maybe 1 or 2 good years left for draft capital. Eagles didn't do that. And when they did do recruiting, they didn't do it very well. I could have gone through a list of their draftees over the last 5 years.
Very ordinary.
It would have been really grim reading.
Yeah. So it's list negligence?
Negligence. It's poor list management to the point of negligence. And they doubled down. They said, well, we're going to go again for 2019, 2020, 2021. And they were thereabouts in 2021. And the last 4 weeks of the year, injuries hit. The arse fell out of it. And they lost the last 4 games and they were pretty bad.
2021, they won 10 games.
Yeah. And so 2022 was the start of the downfall. And I think I remember talking on this podcast with you, the worst is yet to come. And the worst is now, is what we're seeing, where they've been unable to top up at the draft for those years, and there's this sort of gap in the list. And, you know, now you've got a team that 7 years ago won a premiership, potentially, not that they have yet, going to the AFL and saying, please, sir, may we have some more, when you had the opportunity to do this 4 years ago and look ahead and try and mitigate this stuff. And that is what smart clubs and smart list managers do, is they say, we need to mitigate the potential drop-off and either do it with younger players, or do it with draft picks, or do it somehow. And Hawthorn's done it better than most. And that's the blueprint.
Yeah, and you look at the 4 years that we're talking to, 2022 to 2025, and you bring up premiership standards just to see, okay, what is West Coast? Have they sort of been able to do anything well or where they rank. They rank 18th and 17th in nearly every key major area, a couple of 15s in there. But so do North Melbourne 17th and 18th in nearly every area next to them. Essendon's down there in 16th and 17th for a lot of areas, and Richmond are down there as well. So Richmond and West Coast, they got the flags in the bag and sort of,
Great.
you know, circular things. It's almost, I look at it and I'm with you. I don't think they deserve a priority pick, and it's going to come back to, I don't think Essendon deserve one either, not enough wooden spoons. But North Melbourne's probably the one that's still sort of sitting there going, well, what
about us? Yeah.
We haven't had the previous success. We've tried as hard as we can to go to the draft and get all these young kids, but it's still not happening. So, yeah, I'm a little bit of West Coast.
You've made your own bed.
You've made your own bed, and probably... There's no doubt maybe 2 or 3 years more like this, and they will definitely deserve a priority pick. But I'm looking more at the North Melbourne.
Do they even then?
North Melbourne, Essendon, who
So
haven't made
annoying.
prelims. Essendon haven't won a final. North Melbourne haven't been up there. They're probably the two that you sort of just keep an eye on and think, you know. But
Yeah.
West Coast is just in that.
West Coast, with respect to a team like North Melbourne as well, is a rich club. And they have, it's not like they're in danger of losing money hand over fist and all this sort of stuff. So not that that matters to the on-field, but I just will say this. The AFL cannot entertain this because it sets an incredibly dangerous precedent of teams going all in to
100%.
try and win premierships and thinking, hey, we've got
They
this
don't
insurance
have to pay.
fallback.
we don't have to face the consequences of basically becoming an expansion club and starting from scratch.
Eagles fans can be mad at that. They can be upset at their club, but that's who they need to be upset at. It's the mismanagement of the club in that time, in that transition period. And yep, good on them for going all in and failing to win a second flag, but those are the consequences you're going to have to live with.
The question is, going back to what I said before, but where is the line of you take a premiership, but you're going to be terrible for how long? Is it 5 years? Like, I'll take that. Is it 15? Do you take that? You take your team winning a premiership, but then 15 years you're going to win one game every year for 15 years. I don't know if you take that.
Depends if you
Where's
could
the
ask
line?
a Geelong fan, and that answer will be different to a St Kilda fan.
That's true.
So I don't know. But I don't know.
I just don't think they deserve one. And I know 2 years ago I said that I'll revisit it in 2025. Well, I am revisiting it, and I just don't think that they do.